Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. In this video, I want to talk to you a bit about learning. Recently, I decided to take on a project for myself. I made what I think at this point is probably a harebrained decision because I'm in the middle of it, don't know how it's going to go. I took on a building project, and I do have some experience building. For example, the interior of this building, I put up with a team of guys, a couple of guys. I also built myself a tiny house, as it were, like a shack. I call it the shack in the back behind here. And I decided I want a house for myself or something a little bigger, a little more, I don't know, I'm tired of ducking every time I go out the back door. And also bending over to put my clothes on. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm like, all right, I want this thing. Now I'm going to go do it. And I am doing it. And it's a challenge. And what I think I can provide for you is this, perhaps an orientation toward learning. For example, there's a story I tell when I teach boxing or when I teach martial arts. Usually when I teach martial arts or if I work with apprentices, which I also do from time to time. And very often in the learning process, especially when I'm teaching, I don't know why this happens. Perhaps those of you that have learned from me can shed some light on it. I don't know. And or those of you who are teachers and you maybe experience the same thing. Let me know in the comments. I'll be teaching. Do this, think this way, and or what are you thinking? How are you viewing reality such that you're making these decisions? I don't necessarily ask it like that, but I'm like, well, what's going on with you? Like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What's your experience? The people tell me their experience. I go, okay, change it to this. Do this, do this, do this. Or no, don't move your body like that. Put your body over here. Now move it like this. And then at some point, they'll tell me something like, but it feels weird. Or I have another story about a guy I was teaching boxing here way back. I was trying to show him a movement, very specific movement, way of moving the body that is useful for that type of training. And he gave me this, but it feels weird, man, but it feels weird. And as a teacher, I don't see the value of somebody telling me that what they're doing feels weird, because in my mind, I'm like, of course it feels weird. And I've probably mentioned this in a previous video or one of my courses or something like that. It's like, yes, it feels weird. It's uncomfortable. Why? You never did it before. Of course it's uncomfortable. Of course you're going to make mistakes. Of course you're going to do it wrong. That's just like par for the course. And I guess maybe my relationship to this stuff is a little bit different on account of me teaching. I imagine teachers who are out there listening, if you're listening, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Like the students will come up with all kinds of crap. And I guess from the perspective of the student looking at the teacher, they don't realize how many people the teacher has seen. They only think they're the only one I've ever seen, perhaps. Or like when I used to work at bars, as a security guy, bouncer, like give me your ID and then take people out if they're drunk, stuff like that. Thankfully, nothing ever too violent happened, which is good because we don't need that, or I don't need that in my life. I would see the same stuff at the door time and time again in the same conversations. There's like categories of conversations I could tell you about that happen as a doorman or a bouncer or a security guy at a bar, because I see thousands of people and I do the same routine with 1,000 people, and there's like little things, and I can tell sometimes when the people are coming in, they look at me, they go through the routine thinking it's somehow unique when it's not. It just isn't. So there's certain things that happen that just, they're not unique, but the people think they are. And so the same with students. And I'm sure I'm guilty of this with Peter when I'm working with Peter Ralston. He's my teacher, mentor, business partner. he's already dealt with thousands of people, or probably several thousand people before I even showed up, right? And then I think that he doesn't know all the ins and outs or something, something like that. So what am I saying with this? What I'm saying with this is like I am trying to create perhaps some empathy for myself, for the mind and perspective of the students, when the students come up with the same shit again and again and again and again. One of these things is, but it feels weird. As if a complaint. Now, I don't know if people are complaining. I should clarify. I should ask. And now, what does this have to do with learning? Well, the best students, they don't complain. Now maybe sometimes they're trying to say, well, this feels weird, and maybe they're asking, should it feel weird? In which case, why don't you just ask me, is this supposed to be right? Because I feel weird here. I personally do not care if you feel weird. I care if you do the thing, that I'm trying to show, or the skills. I want to see the skills and the understanding show up over there. If it doesn't, then I invite the student to change how they think, change how they feel, hold a different perspective, change their mind on something, think like this while moving like this, deconfuse things or whatever. I just want results. And usually yesterday, so that's my problem. I'm very impatient. See, so as a student, it seems to me the best is put yourself aside, do what the teacher is asking. If you don't understand what the teacher is asking, then ask them what they mean so that you can get clear, so that you can do what they're asking. If the teacher's doing their job. And now if the teacher's not doing the teaching job, then that's a different matter, and that is off track. Right? So then the learning process. Always uncomfortable. Always going to fuck it up. Always going to make mistakes. You're always going to be wrong at some point. So you might as well just enjoy that part, or just know that you're already screwing it up. Okay? You see, you're in crude terms, you're already a fuck up. You're going in as a fuck up. Don't expect to be anything else. Now, caveat to that, when you're learning, expect results immediately. You will never get these results. Maybe you will. But expect results immediately. You'll fail good. You failed. Do it again. Increase your knowledge. Focus on what the solution could be. Focus on what you're missing. And do it again. I think I am parroting a previous video at this point. Okay? So now back to my project. You see, I knew for sure it's going to be a lot of work. And it is. 2, I'm running into all kinds of challenges that I didn't foresee. First of which, planning. Not strong in that area for this project, this guy. I am now eating my words, and I might post some other videos that you can see the job site, probably on my Facebook, not on YouTube. You're invited to go check that out if you want. Okay, but one of the things, if you're going to build, so now getting build specific, if you are going to build a house, make sure you make a plan. There is something powerful about making a plan, writing it down, getting clear on what you want to do first, then doing it. Or like I believe Sun Tzu said, you do the things that you can do ahead of time. You do all of the things that you can do ahead of time. And then the things that you cannot do ahead of time, you can't. So you don't have to worry about those. You just handle it as they come up. All right? And then this other aspect of learning that I also talk about in my video course is making correction. I am learning a lot by putting myself out there, by going out there, by failing, by having to struggle, having to make leaps in my understanding, small or big, whatever, and then make correction and then do it again, and then slowly but surely I'm learning things. That then will be, even if I needed to have marketable life skills, it'd be, I built a house. Well, how are you learning how to build a house? By doing it, you see? And also, lots and lots of YouTube, where I use all the free resources I can. I ask friends, I ask people. things. I'm curious. I'm talking to people on the phone about, electrical wires, setting up a power pole, like all these things. Learn by doing. Same sort of deal for me in like the real estate world, where I dabble. I dabble in real estate. I do things there, and same sort of deal. I just put myself out there, started learning and asking questions, wondering about. That's an option. You can actually throw yourself into something and try it out. And I think a lot of people have this but it doesn't feel right. Never will. But I might fail. Of course you're going to fail. But I don't know. I won't do it good. Of course you're not going to do it good. But this, but that, but this. And as a service to humanity, I just want to take all the buts and fuck, dude, get rid of them. Don't need them. What have they ever done for you? Yeah. But people often rely on that as if that's just my view as a teacher. It's like they come up with but this, and I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck about that. This is not the important thing. The important thing is your openness, your willingness to learn, your questioning, your awareness, what you're doing with your mind. And if what you're doing with your mind is going, but this, but that, then that's what you're doing with your mind. That doesn't help. You see? So then I have a strong desire for people, if they really want to learn, it's like, get over that part. Just boom, destroy that immediately. Fuck it, not needed. You can talk about the buts after you're done working, after you're done learning, after you're done training. Okay? Because I just, to me, is a waste of time. Cool. That's what I have for you there. I wish you luck in all your learning. I want you to learn a lot. And I want to open a space and put this out for others, because I fear I fear our society might be heading down the tubes. Just a thought. Not making any not making any predictions. All right, just a thought. For example, now here's an example. Have you ever read The Foundation by Isaac Asimov? If not, I recommend it. You don't have to read it, but you can. And in this book, basically, there's a galactic empire, and it was built so well for so long, and then something happened at the education level of the people. The education level of the people. The education level of the people. That a couple generations passed, now the people are stupid or stupider, or they lack education, if you will, if you got a problem with the word stupid. See, they got dumb. And these things that were built, they lost the knowledge. And then stuff started to break down. Okay, and the people that were there now, that had lost the education, could not figure out how to fix the things that were breaking. And it started to decline. And then this guy who, some guy, there's a type of mathematics or science or something like that, and he predicts this 30,000-year dark ages, so he came up with a plan to take the most intelligent people, ship them to the other side of the galaxy, and change a 30,000-year dark ages, because as they're plummeting, these people are getting smarter and growing, and then boom, instead of 30,000 years of dark ages, it's like 1,000. All right, but anyway, the foundation, my point is, that's sort of the preamble, or that's sort of how that book goes. It's a series of books. I had a friend of mine tell me about some kids that she helps raise, right? And they're saying that they lost a ball over a fence at a neighbor's house. And these kids were trying to figure out the phone number of the person so they could text the person and tell them about the ball that just went over their fence. Now, if that doesn't blow your mind, then you're probably part of the problem, all right? Because these kids are right outside the house. You go knock on the door and you talk to the people. right? So thank God for my friend, because she said, all right, kids, it's time to go learn how to talk to people. And she went over and showed them how to knock on a door and use your mouth and talk to people. So now these are kids that are up and coming. If that's the standard, we're fucked. It's gone digital, and I'm nothing against digital. I obviously use digital like crazy. But don't lose sight of the interaction, the human interaction. Go talk to a person. How hard is it to talk to a person? And they couldn't figure it out, you see. So, wow. So that's as somebody very important to me is saying, she's like, that's anecdotal evidence. It's not actual. I didn't do hard science on that, so I want to acknowledge that. I didn't gather a bunch of data, but I hear these little things, anecdotal evidence, not hard science. So, hey, do the hard science. Let me know in the comments. And if that's the case, we're in trouble. You're going to need people like me, all right, to help teach people things. All right, so, and you're going to need to learn stuff. So this video should help that. Maybe have some courage, have some bravery, go out there, do something, take a risk. You know, take some risks. I'm taking a big risk by doing this, building. Financial risk. You know, it's a lot of money. I'm learning. I'm putting myself out there. I got to make a building that doesn't fall down. See? So you too can do these things. And it's best to make a calculated risk, all right? You know, have that plan in place. So that's what I have for you on learning, and then some other stuff about considering where we might be going as a culture. But again, total anecdotal evidence, don't know for sure. But I think I just have some worries, that's all. All right, so those worries may be unfounded, and they're fear-based. Fear-based? Yeah, I guess worry is fear-based. So that's it for you. Hey, if you want to hit me up, check my website. If you want to get serious, please check the links in the description. I want serious people over here to do workshops, and I don't want people over here to do workshops if you're not serious. So if you're not serious, cool, keep watching the videos. They'll do you for that. But if you actually want to get serious, check the links. I'm here. And that's what I have for you on learning. I hope it's given you something. Much love. Take care. Till next time, I'm Brendan Lee. Check my website. It's thebrendanlee.com. And I am in support of Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, which was founded by Peter Ralston. Take care of yourselves. Do good work.